In NCAA Division II, student-athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student-athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student-athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside Royal Brown Pavilion here in Seattle, Washington on the campus of Seattle Pacific University. Game 2 of our doubleheader coming up here on the SPU webcast. The game between the men's team from these two schools was a great one. Central Washington prevailed 68-66 as the Falcons had a couple of threes go off the mark in the last couple of minutes, or the last few seconds, I should say. This one, the Falcons just 1-12 in conference, but they just won on Thursday night, picking up their first win in conference play over Northwest Nazarene. They had lost their first 12 in conference. 1-12 for the Falcons in conference, 7-19 overall. Central Washington 17-6 and 10-4 in conference. That is good for third at the moment. And in front of them are Alaska Anchorage and Montana State Billings. Anchorage has already won today. Billings will play a little bit later. They actually start at the same time as this game. So we'll maybe keep an eye on that, at least get you a score at halftime. But the Falcons are now tied for the last place spot in the conference with Alaska Fairbanks, who beat them here a few weeks ago. But Central Washington has already clinched a spot in the GNAC tournament, trying to move up to a higher seed. And the Falcons just trying to keep momentum going from Thursday night. They beat Northwest Nazarene by a count of 93-70. When they play well, they play well, but they've had a hard time stringing together a complete 40-minute effort. They did that on Thursday night against the Nighthawks from Northwest Nazarene. Randy Richardson is in her 8th season as the head coach of the Wildcats. She's a former assistant here at SPU. Karen Byers in her first year and is actually the interim head coach for the Falcons. As here is the opening tip, and the Falcons end up with possession off of the tip. And we'll get you the starting lineups here. Grace Turley making a start for the Falcons for now the sixth time that Grace Turley has started for SPU. Here's Hunter Beeren taking a three, and that one rims out. Turley got her hand on it, but it comes down in the hands of Shelby Blodgett for the Wildcats, and they go the other way with their first possession, as Blodgett will get it out to Sunny Huerta, senior out of Whittier, California, and among the leading scorers in the conference. Misses the shot there. Asher Kai also near the top of the conference in scoring. Huerta coming in 18.8 points per game, and Kai at 17.9. And see if I can take a look at the full conference rankings in terms of points per game. Here is Lane Kearns, who is averaging in double figures, but she turns around and misses that shot as it rims out. And Central Washington back the other way. And up and under is Caprice Sims with that one, as she got underneath the basket and was able to pull back out and put it in off the glass. A little bit of sunshine coming into the pavilion here. Not a lot of windows in here, but apparently at least enough to for a little bit of sunlight to hit the court. 2-0 Wildcats in front early here, and Sims goes to work on Madison Rubino and can't get that shot to go. Real quickly here, starting lineups for the Wildcats: Shelby Blodgett, redshirt junior out of Clatskanie, Oregon; Sunny Huerta, senior out of Whittier, California; Malia Smith, a senior from Snohomish, Washington. And speaking of Snohomish, Washington, Madison Rubino connects on a shot there. She's also from Snohomish, Washington. Capri Sims is a sophomore from Post Falls, Idaho. Asher Kai, a junior from Colfax, Washington. That's the lineup for the Wildcats as Kai gets into the lane, shoots over Weatherspoon and puts it in. And the Wildcats go up 4-2. The Falcons with Grace Turley, I mentioned making her 6th start of the year, a redshirt freshman from Sammamish, Washington. Here's Rubino kicking out to Hunter Beeren. Lola Weatherspoon, a senior from Camas, Washington. Hunter Beeren, a 5th-year player from Mukilteo, Washington. As Weatherspoon gets to the bucket, can't get the shot to go. Rubino trying to rip the ball away there, and we'll get a held ball called here. Lane Kearns, a sophomore out of Hamilton, Montana. And Madison Rubino, a junior from Snohomish, Washington. We actually get a timeout called here with 7:02 to go in the first quarter. And so we will step aside here on the SPU webcast. We'll be back in just a moment. Wildcats with the early lead, 4-2. Welcome back inside Royal Brum Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Wildcats with the early 4-2 lead. Not a lot of made buckets so far in this one, but this will get going here as the Wildcats will have possession. Checking on the conference leaders in scoring, Huerta and Kai are 2nd and 3rd, respectively. Huerta with 18.8 per game and Kai at 17.9. The leader in scoring in the conference is completely insane that she's averaging as many points as she is. Sophia Wisotsky from Simon Fraser, 24.3 points a game. And those are like NBA numbers. As Wildcats unable to connect on that end, and now the Falcons coming back, and Turley short arms a 3-point attempt there. And that one goes out of bounds back to the Wildcats. So, Amelia Bishop and Grace Leisure will check in here for the Falcons. And so far in this one, the Wildcats are 2 out of 6 from the floor, and the Falcons just 1 out of 6. The Wildcats with Annalie Coronado out there as well. And she's got the ball now, being guarded by Leisure. Coronado will step into the lane and put it up and in. Nice move there to get the shot up in the lane from Coronado. And she's on the board with her first 2. And the Wildcats with a 6-2 lead. Here's Bishop getting the pass down low and missing on a couple of shots. And it's pulled away by Asher Kai. And the Wildcats go back the other way. Here's a quick 3 on the way from Malia Smith, and it's off the mark. And possession to the Falcons. Last touch there by the Wildcats. So SPU will have it. We played a little more than 4 minutes in this one, and the Falcons have just connected on one of their 7 shots now. As Bishop missed on a couple of shots on the last possession. And this one taken away. Kearns is able to get back to it, though. And SPU keeps possession. 14 on the shot clock. Here's Beeren. Getting a screen from Bishop. She's going to step back and take the 3, and that one rattles home. Hunter Beeren puts in the 3, and it's a 6-5 ball game. Central with the lead. Kai will get it to Coronado. She'll drive on Leisure and now kick it to Huerta, who will put up the shot from just to the right of the free throw line, and that one goes down for Sunny Huerta for her first 2. Kearns to Bishop, and a little too strong off the glass there. And Coronado back the other way for the Wildcats. They'll get it to Huerta on the left base, the corner rather. Huerta knocks in a 3. And so Huerta with back-to-back buckets, and that one a 3. She's got 5 points. And here's Buren putting up the shot, and that one rims out. Bishop was blocked, but I believe she was also fouled, and she was. And so foul called on Aaliyah Finch, who came into the game a moment ago as well for Central. And it'll send Amelia Bishop to the free throw line. Bishop coming off the bench in this one. She did have a start here against Fairbanks where she went for 27 points and 15 rebounds. And you would think that would earn her some more starts. Actually, she started 4 games, so just these last couple here, she's back to coming off the bench. Bishop knocks down the free throw there, and knocks down both, I should say. It's 11-7 as Amelia Bishop goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. And Bishop gets her hands on that one, but knocks it out of bounds. Central will keep it. 4:27 to go. So the timeout earlier, just over 7 minutes left in the quarter, that served as the first quarter media timeout. Here's a long 2, I believe, from Smith, and the rebound now controlled by the Wildcats, and another 3 that time from the corner from Malia Smith, and she can't connect on that one either. And the Falcons, with the rebound this time, will take it back down the floor. Here's Grace Leisure being guarded by Coronado. In the post for Bishop. And Bishop goes up and puts it in over Jordy DeMott. As Amelia Bishop with the jump hook in the lane. And the turnaround jumper. And Bishop is on the board with 4 points now, making a couple of free throws a moment ago. Weatherspoon comes up with a steal on Kai. And Lola Weatherspoon back the other way. Falcons an opportunity to tie or take the lead on this possession. Weatherspoon in the post for Bishop, and she'll go to the bucket again. This time she is off the mark, and Kai with the rebound, and a foul called on Amelia Bishop. So the Wildcats will take it back as Haley Ota checks in here for SPU. Hunter Buren gets a break. And the Wildcats with a 2-point lead and possession as we are inside of 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Here's Asher Kai being guarded by Weatherspoon. Steps back, takes a 3, and that one is off the mark. And the long rebound comes out to Ota. And here come the Falcons down the court. Leisure in the post for Bishop and gets that one to Weatherspoon. Almost threw it into the Wildcats bench. But the Falcons keep possession. Another long pass from Bishop outside to Leisure, and that one is off the mark. And Bishop got a hand on that one and tapped it back. Weatherspoon able to collect it and keep the possession alive here. Bishop with a couple of defenders on her, and she was out near the free throw line. Couldn't get that shot to go. Wildcats with possession back the other way. Here's Asher Kai pulling up, shooting over Grace Leisure, and that one rims off. And the Falcons with another rebound. Here's Leisure running the floor. She'll kick it to Ota in the corner. Weatherspoon to Kearns for a 3. And Lane Kearns has that one rim out. Both teams not shooting the ball particularly well here in this first quarter. It's just 11-9 as we are almost down to 2 minutes to go in the quarter. As here's Huerta driving, kicking it to Kai. Kai gets the screen. And Asher Kai will kick it out now. That's Malia Smith. And she lost it. Weatherspoon ends up with it. And the Falcons take it back the other way. Now down inside 2 minutes to go. Long pass for Kearns, and she's got an easy lay-in on the assist from Weatherspoon. And Randy Richardson didn't like that. She calls the timeout. 11 apiece as Kearns gets on the board with her first 2. And Falcons with an easy fast break lay-in there. This will be a full timeout. So we'll go ahead and take a break here on the SPU webcast. 11 apiece your score here late in the first.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all.
Back from the timeout, and a short timeout there, not a full timeout. Both teams were seated on their benches. I may have taken a little time to get to the break, but we're back as the Falcons with another steal, and Weatherspoon driving. She'll kick it out to Madison Rubino, who's back in now. And now a three going up from the corner from Ota. Couldn't get it to go, and the Falcons able to chase down the offensive rebound and maintain possession here. Weatherspoon gets it to Leisure, and she'll turn around in the lane and shoot over Malia Smith. And Leisure puts in her first two of the afternoon, and the Falcons take the lead. It was 11-5 Central, and the Falcons now on an 8-0 run. Here's Coronado. Gets it now to Kira Marsh, is in the ballgame for the Wildcats. And now in the post, and that one misses, but now it's kicked back to Marsh from Capri Sims. Marsh knocks down the three. And the Wildcats go back in front 14-13. Here's a three on the way from Buren, and that one well off the mark, and the rebound to Smith. Wildcats back the other way, leading by a point. Shot clock is off. They can really dribble out the rest of the first quarter, but they don't choose to do that as Huerta knocks down a three from the corner. And Sunny Huerta now with 8 points here in the first quarter. Falcons still plenty of time to get another shot up here. 8 seconds left in the quarter. And Buren sees the clock, puts the shot up, and that one rims off. Wildcats with the rebound. The long heave from beyond half court by Kira Marsh there comes up short. Wildcats, though, with the lead after one quarter of play, 17-13, as the Falcons surged ahead for just a moment there, but the Wildcats came back and scored the last few points of that first quarter. We'll take a break on the SB webcast. We'll be right back in just a moment. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. 17-13, Wildcats lead the Falcons going into the second quarter, as the Wildcats closed out the first quarter on a 6-0 run after the Falcons briefly grabbed the lead at 13-11. The Wildcats now up by 4. Wildcats held the lead for over 7 minutes in that first quarter, and the Falcons only led for 29 seconds. This one out of bounds, though. It'll go back to SPU. Back to Central Washington, rather. The SPU turns it over. As Wildcats with now Shelby Blodgett back in the game. And she goes in the post, and a couple of defenders there for the Falcons. Wildcats will kick it back out. Here's Asher Kai stepping back, taking a three, and that one goes down for Asher Kai. Wildcats now with 4 made threes in the ball game. 2 of them from Huerta, and now 1 from Kai, 1 from Marsh a moment ago. Here's Rubino with a turnaround from the free throw line, and she puts that one in. And Madison Rubino now with her 3rd and 4th points there. She's got 4. This one knocked away, and now Rubino with the block on Capri Sims, and she takes it away, brings it back up the floor for SBU. They're down 5. And Buren will get it to Lane Kearns. Leisure will kick it to Rubino along 2, and that one off the back iron, no good. The Falcons really didn't move the ball a whole lot on that possession. Ended up, Kearns comes up with a steal, though, and here come the Falcons back the other way. Kearns will step around Asher Kai and can't get the shot to go. And this one's going to stay with the Falcons. Grace Turley back in for SBU, and Aaliyah Finch back in for Central Washington. Turley from Sammamish, and Finch is from Chelan, Washington. Here's the pass into Rubino. She steps back and puts it in. Madison Rubino now 6 points in the ball game, and she gets the Falcons back within 3. Here's Huerta. Blodgett now to Asher Kai. And we get a whistle and a foul called on Lola Weatherspoon. Capri Sims will come back in for Aaliyah Finch. And the Wildcats will have possession here. So it'll be inbounded from Marsh to Huerta. And Huerta going to Sims in the post. She kicks it back out. Kai coming down the lane and missed the shot. But Kai is able to end up with the offensive rebound there. Kicks it back out to Huerta. She misses on a 3. Another offensive rebound. Huerta's going to take another 3. And that one is off the mark as well. And another offensive rebound for the Wildcats as Asher Kai dribbles down the left side of the lane. And now we get a whistle and a foul. And this one's going on Hunter Buren. Subs in for both teams. Amelia Bishop back on for SPU. And Malia Smith back on for Central Washington. As this possession's been going for a while. Now Bishop blocks the shot from Sims. And the Falcons come away with it this time. Well short on the shot there is Turley. And the Wildcats take it right back. They're up by 3. And here's Kai getting past Turley and putting up the shot. And I think Turley got her from behind, trying to get back. And yes, the foul is on Grace Turley. That's her first. And Asher Kai will go to the free throw line as Annalie Coronado checks back in for Central Washington. Wildcats in third in the GNAC at the moment. And they are a game and a half back of Montana State Billings. But they are a game in front of Western Washington. As Kai knocks down the free throw. She's got 6 points in the ball game. Second one is up and good. Asher Kai has made over 100 free throws coming into this game. She's 81% from the line. And Huerta is shooting a great percentage from the line as well, 83%. Here is Weatherspoon with the pull-up jumper, and it's off the mark. And the rebound down to Capri Sims. Wildcats back the other way, leading by 5. Under 7 minutes to play in the half. Kai hands off to Malia Smith for a 3, and that one's off the mark. But another offensive board. Capri Sims trying to get to the bucket, goes up over Bishop and puts it in. Good move in the post there by Capri Sims. And she gets it over Amelia Bishop. Sims now with 4 points in the game. Wildcats up by 7. Kearns, a 3 from the corner, and that's off the mark. Bishop fought for it. Turley had it, and the Wildcats pull it away. Smith back the other way. Smith will get it to Sims coming down the lane, and she leaves it short as Kearns got back on defense there. And now the Falcons with possession again. Buren scoops it up. That one rims out. Bishop tried to pull down the rebound. She did pull it down initially, but Huerta's able to tie her up. And a held ball. Possession will go back to Central Washington. Rubino back in for SPU. And Jordy DeMott and Kira Marsh both check back in for Central. DeMott, 6'1" freshman out of Claremont, California. And Marsh is a junior from Arlington, Washington, a transfer from Cal State East Bay. Wildcats by 7, trying to expand the lead. Here's Coronado, and Weatherspoon gets a hand in there and commits the foul. And Weatherspoon commits her second foul. Julia Levine's going to get off the bench for SPU here and check in for the first time as Weatherspoon goes to the bench. 2 shots for Annalie Coronado, who's got 2 points in the ball game. She's an 81% free throw shooter, hasn't taken nearly as many as Kai and Huerta have. As coming into the game, Huerta 81 out of 98 on the season as the second one misses here from Coronado. And Kai coming into the game 101 for 125 on the season. Both have taken a ton of free throws. As here is Kearns getting it to Hunter Buren. And now Rubino with her back to the basket goes around and misses the shot. Tried to chase down the rebound but commits the foul. And the Wildcats will have possession. Rubino commits her first foul. That's the 5th team foul here in the second quarter, and that means free throws the rest of the way for the Wildcats. They have not committed a team foul at all here in the second quarter. There's a goose egg on the scoreboard in terms of Wildcats team fouls. As Coronado back to the line, and she misses on the first one. She'll get another. Used to be, and this has been a few years now, as Coronado knocks down the second free throw. She's split a pair a couple of times now. And the Wildcats lead it by 9. Here is Buren with the slip pass in the post for Rubino. She gets to the bucket and lays it up and in. And Madison Rubino's got 8 here in the first half. It used to be that both the men's and women's games, they're going to get an offensive foul on Coronado there, pushing off. They used to both play 20-minute halves as Capri Sims comes back in here for the Wildcats. And the foul situation, the way it worked, was the way the men's game still works, where 17 fouls gets you in the bonus, 10 team fouls gets you in the double bonus. But now, 10-minute quarters in the women's game, and it's been that way for a few years. Here's Rubino, a turnaround from the free throw line, puts it in. Madison Rubino on fire here in the first half for the Falcons. She's got 10. And it's a 26-21 lead now for the Wildcats. But with the 10-minute quarters, once you get to 5 team fouls, the other team is shooting 2 free throws the rest of the way. And that is the situation the Falcons find themselves in as Sims goes up. Rubino gets some of the ball and some of Capri Sims. And so Rubino commits her second foul. Coming back in, Shelby Blodgett and Asher Kai. This will take us, though, to the under 5 timeout here in the second quarter. As Wildcats with the lead, 26-21. And we will be back in just a moment on the SP webcast.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you, 4:18 to go first half, and the Wildcats with a 5-point lead over the Falcons here. Wildcats trying to go to 11-4 in conference play and stay out in front of Western Washington, who is in 4th at the moment. Falcons picked up their first win of the season, first conference win, I should say, of the season here on Thursday night against Northwest Nazarene, and they beat them 93-70. Falcons will either find a way to lose, which they've done a lot this year, or they will just blow a team out of the water, which is what happened on Thursday. All 7 of the Falcons' wins this season have been by double digits. And so if they get up big, they have surrendered big leads, but usually they get up big on a team. They are going to maintain that lead. And they do not have any single-digit wins. They have a few single-digit losses as the Wildcats get possession back. Kai takes it to the bucket and can't get the shot to go. Kearns with the long baseball pass in the corner for Buren, and she'll settle it down. And now we get a whistle. I think it's a kickball is what they called there. 3:44 to go in the half. Wildcats up 7. And Buren will pull up and put it in. And she's got that pull-up jumper in her game for sure. She's able to kind of shoot that from wherever she wants, from inside the arc or outside potentially, as Kai gets the bucket and can't get the shot to go down. And Buren comes out of the pack with the ball. And Buren trying to go coast to coast, but she's going to have to kick it back out and out to Turley. Kearns on top, and she tried to go around Kai, and Kai comes up with a steal and takes it back the other way. Kai to the bucket. Kearns comes over for the block, but she's going to get called for a foul as well. Kearns got back on defense there, but commits the foul on Asher Kai, who will go to the free throw line. First foul on Kearns. Grace Leisure will come back in for Madison Rubino. Rubino's having a great first half, as she is 5 out of 7 from the floor. Asher Kai is just 2 out of 8, but has 7 points and 4 rebounds and knocks in the first free throw. And we mentioned earlier that Asher Kai is north of 80%, 81% coming into the game at the free throw line. Knocks in both free throws here. And Kai is now 4 out of 4 from the free throw line in the ball game. Coronado back in for Central. 7-point lead for the Wildcats. Here's Julia Levine. Gets it to Leisure. And now Turley is going to step back and take a 3, and that one goes down for Grace Turley. As Turley had the benefit of the screen there to help her out, and she got an open 3 and took it and nailed it. Here's Capri Sims being guarded by Levine, and the post gets around her and puts it up and in. And Capri Sims with a good post move there to get to the bucket. And she puts the Wildcats back up by 6. Under 2.5 to play here in the first half. And Huerta gets a hand in there on Buren. And now I believe they're going to get Buren for a foul here. And they are. And that is going to be the second foul on Hunter Beeren. Amelia Bishop will come back in. And she'll come back in for Levine. As Hunter Beeren was heading over toward the bench, but just to have a talk with her head coach, Karen Byers. Sunny Huerta to the free throw line. And this is the first time she's been there this afternoon. And she knocks down the first free throw. We mentioned her free throw percentage is at 83% coming into the game. Blodgett is at 87%, not having taken a lot of free throws though. But Huerta gets both, and she's got 10 points in the ball game. And it's a 34-26 lead now for the Wildcats. Coming down to the final 2 minutes. Still a little more than 2 minutes left on the clock, and Amelia Bishop gets one toward the bucket there and puts it up and in off the glass. Wildcats back the other way. Kai gets around Kearns, who was trying to go for the steal, couldn't get it. And Kai gets all the way to the bucket and lays it up and in. And Asher Kai now with 11 here for the Wildcats. Bishop goes down and Sims comes away with it. And the Wildcats get the Falcons to turn it over. Coronado gets all the way to the bucket and lays it up and in. Annalie Coronado with 6 points now. And the Wildcats out to a double-digit lead. Beeren tried to get that one to Bishop, and it eluded her, but Kearns is there to pick it up. And here's Beeren now. And a nice move there, but the shot is off the mark. The rebound, though, tapped out to Grace Leisure. She'll put one up off the back iron, no good. And the Wildcats with the rebound. Here's Asher Kai with the ball. And as we tick down toward a minute to go now in this first half, Wildcats have opened up a 10-point lead. Kai thought about taking the three, but enters it in the post instead to Sims. And Sims gets around Bishop and puts it up and in. Another good move in the post there by Capri Sims. And she's got 10 points. Wildcats up 12 now. Falcons trying to maintain some contact here with the Wildcats and stay in the ball game. We get a whistle here. And a foul on Sunny Huerta. Levine comes back in along with Ota for SPU. And Leah Finch back in for Central. Falcons with possession, 39.8 left on the clock here in the first half. Just the second team foul on the Wildcats there. Here's Beeren taking a three from a couple feet out beyond the arc and missing. And Kearns is there to get the offensive rebound and put it back up and in. And that gets the Falcons back within 10. Lane Kearns with 4 points here in the first half. Wildcats with the shot clock off. They don't have to take a shot until the buzzer if they want to hold it that long. As here's Huerta. Gets it to Kai, and we get a whistle, and we're going the other way. As underneath there, they get Finch for a foul. Away from the ball, anyway. Official had an eye on it. I didn't. I was following the ball. Falcons down 10. 4 seconds to go. Here's Beeren trying to drive between about 4 Wildcats, and she's not going to be able to do it. That is going to finish the first half as the Wildcats lead the Falcons 40-30 at the break here. Falcons were down by as many as 12. They get back within 10 going into halftime. But the Wildcats in control of this one at this point, but the Falcons still definitely within range of coming back in the second half. We'll see if they can do it. Coming up, we'll step aside for about 9.5 minutes here on the SPU webcast. When we come back, we will recap the first half for you, and we'll take a look at what else is going around, what else is going on around the GNAC, scores from around the conference, and that will be coming up in a little bit here on the SPU webcast. We'll step aside now.
In NCAA Division II, athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back inside Royal Brougham Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you at halftime here between the Central Washington Wildcats and the Seattle Pacific Falcons. Wildcats with a 40-30 lead at the break, as they had three players get into double figures and just 40 points as a team. We'll take a look at the individual stats here in a second. First, the team stats. The Wildcats 41% from the floor and the Falcons just 33%. Each team took 11 threes, three-point attempts in the first half, and the Wildcats hit 4 of theirs, the Falcons just 2 of theirs. The Wildcats, I believe at the end of the first quarter, had not attempted a free throw. They go 10 out of 12 in the first half. I believe all of those were in the second quarter. And the Falcons had just 2 free throws, those by Amelia Bishop in the first quarter. So the Wildcats with 10 more free throws attempted than the Falcons, and they go 10 out of 12 at the free throw line. They also hold the edge in rebounds, 25-21. Each team with several offensive rebounds in this one. The Falcons actually have 8, and the Wildcats with 7. But overall, the Wildcats with the lead in rebounds. Falcons, again, just took that lead briefly toward the end of the first quarter, and they have not led since. It was 13-11 for a moment there. And then the Wildcats were able to surge back ahead quickly and have stayed in front and pulled out to a 12-point lead at one point in the second quarter. Now it's 10 at the break. Another statistical category here that we typically look at is turnovers, and each team has turned the ball over 6 times. Central Washington with a couple more points off turnovers, 10-8 in that category. Individually, Sunny Huerta goes for 10, Capri Sims goes for 10, and Asher Kai goes for 11. Kai has 11 points and 5 rebounds, and Sims and Huerta, as I mentioned, both each with 10. Sims 10 points, 4 rebounds, and Huerta with 10 points, 1 rebound. She had 2 steals. Sims and Kai each picking up a steal as well, and Shelby Blodgett had a steal. 6 points for Annalie Coronado off the bench. She had 3 rebounds. And for the Falcons, Madison Rubino had a good first half. 5 out of 7 from the floor, 10 points, 2 rebounds. And she blocked a shot and came up with a steal as well. But nobody else on the Falcons with more than 6 points. Amelia Bishop, 6 points, 4 rebounds off the bench. And Lane Kearns chips in 5 rebounds, but just 4 points in the first half for SPU. Hunter Barron with 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. Well, Weatherspoon had a couple of assists, but did not score. She had a couple of steals as well. Didn't score in the first half, though. Let's take a look around the GNAC here. And Anchorage is the team on top, Alaska Anchorage. 12-1 in conference play. Make it 13-1 as they defeated Simon Fraser today. And Simon Fraser on the outside looking in. They are in 7th now. And actually, I'm sorry, that drops them into a virtual tie. No, it doesn't, because Western Oregon lost 2. I was going to say it drops them into a virtual tie with Western Oregon. But Western Oregon also loses. So Simon Fraser stays in front of Western Oregon, but they both take a loss today. And the GNAC tournament field starting to form into shape here. Already, Anchorage, Montana State Billings, and Central Washington have clinched spots. I believe Western Washington, without taking the court yet today, is now into the tournament as well, by virtue of both Simon Fraser and Western Oregon losing. And it really was Simon Fraser that still had a chance to come back and at least tie Western Washington in the conference standings if they won the rest of theirs and Western Washington lost the rest of theirs. But Western Washington in 4th place in the conference, right behind Central, a game behind Central. Northwest Nazarene loses. I'm sorry, they're down at halftime to Montana State Billings. It's not a loss yet. They have started the 3rd quarter there, and Montana State Billings is up by 21. So Northwest Nazarene is going to have a tough time coming back in that one. Still most of the second half left there, though. Billings with the lead, 54-33 at the moment, and looking to stay ahead of Central Washington. They will, even if Northwest Nazarene is able to come back and win that game. And now it's a 24-point game as we get ready for second half action here. But the standings right now, Anchorage at 1, Billings at 2, Central Washington at 3, and Western at 4, Northwest Nazarene at 5, but they're slipping a bit. St. Martin's will host the tournament. They're in the 6th spot right now. And if they finish in the 6th spot and Central Washington finishes in the 3rd spot, those two teams would hook up in the first round of the GNAC tournament coming up in a couple of weeks. Should say almost 3 weeks. As the Falcons open up the 3rd quarter with possession. Weatherspoon gets a shot up, but it comes up short. And Kai with the rebound. And the Wildcats back the other way. Their first possession of the 3rd quarter. And Sunny Huerta will get a screen from Sims, and she'll get a shot up over Rubino, and she puts it in. Huerta with her first bucket of the second half, and she's got 12 points in the game now. And it's 42-30. Here's Kearns. Thought about taking a 3, but Kai was out on her. And Weatherspoon tried to get it back to Kearns in the corner, and it's off the hand of Kearns out of bounds. And so the Wildcats will take it back up 12. Wildcats trying to stay out in front of Central Washington for that 3rd spot. As Malia Smith will get it in the post for Asher Kai, and she goes to the bucket and can't get the shot to go down. Rebound to the Falcons. Here is Weatherspoon. Kern's going to step into a 3 in transition, and that's off the mark, but Rubino is there for the offensive rebound. Here's Turley for a 3, and that one goes down for Grace Turley. And the Falcons back within 9, as Grace Turley now with 6 points in the ball game, a couple of threes. Shelby Blodgett gets it to Asher Kai. And now Huerta with the ball. And tried to enter it in the post. There was nobody there. I think she may have thought that Kai was going to cut toward the basket, but she didn't. And the Falcons with the steal. Here is Turley, another 3 from the corner. This one off the mark. And a foul here going to go against Hunter Buren for the Falcons, and that'll be her 3rd. So the Wildcats will take it back up 9 here early on here in the 3rd quarter. Huerta across midcourt. We'll get it to Malia Smith. Blodgett to Kai, and now Huerta tried to get it in the post to Sims, and the Wildcats are able to get the ball back there, keep possession, as Kai drops one into the paint to Blodgett. Now it's back out. Shot clock running down. Huerta puts up the shot. Couldn't get it to go. Blodgett the rebound, and Rubino with the block. And the Falcons back the other way. Here is Buren getting it to Kearns. Kearns reverses it up and in. And that will make it a 7-point game. As Rubino started that one off with a block on the defensive end. Now Kearns trying to come away with the steal there, but loses it out of bounds. And Central will keep it as Annalie Coronado will check back in for Shelby Blodgett. Blodgett's got a knee brace on that left knee and has the full sleeve on the left leg. This one is thrown out of bounds as Huerta thought she had Asher Kai. Asher Kai was turned around, not paying attention, and not looking for the ball. And so the Falcons will take it back. And that is an unforced error there for the Wildcats. As the Falcons down just 7. Trying to get a little closer here. They were down 12 a few moments ago. Here's Buren getting to the bucket, and she hit the rim, the underside of the rim. Rubino comes back and steals it away from Kai. And here come the Falcons back again as Turley gets it to Rubino. And Rubino steps back and lays it up and in off the glass. As Rubino got the steal on the defensive end and then went back to the other end to put in the bucket. And the Falcons are back within 5. Here is Huerta getting to the bucket, and that one is off the mark, but she will get to the free throw line. Foul on Grace Turley. Second foul on Turley. 6:27 to go here in the 3rd. And the Falcons on a bit of a run to get back to within 5, but Huerta trying to push it back out to a 3-possession lead. If they can push it back out to 7 here. A couple free throws coming up for Huerta. Amelia Bishop in for Madison Rubino. Rubino's had a great game today on both ends of the floor, as she's created some opportunities with her defense as well. Huerta knocks down the first and misses on the second. And so it's a 6-point lead for the Wildcats. And a rare miss from Sunny Huerta at the free throw line. Here's Kearns taking a 3, and that one off the mark. Rebound to Asher Kai. Wildcats back the other way. Malia Smith looking up the floor for Huerta. And now she'll get it back. Here is Sims trying to get around Bishop. Kept the pivot foot and puts the shot up and in. Caprice Sims with the good footwork in the post. And she's come up with a few. She's now got 12 points in the ballgame, but a few of those, a lot of those points in the post. And she's been able to use the footwork to her advantage. Bishop on the other end can't get the shot to go. And the Wildcats come back the other way with an 8-point lead. Here is Sims getting to the bucket. That one too strong. And Hunter Beer in the rebound for SPU. Goes behind her back and drives down the left side of the lane. Kicks it back out to Weatherspoon. Weatherspoon tried to enter it in the post to Bishop. Bishop does catch it. Bobbled it initially. And now Kearns in the post for Weatherspoon. She finds Bishop coming down the lane, and Bishop lays it up and in. Good find there from Lola Weatherspoon. And Amelia Bishop now with 8 points in the ball game. Weatherspoon still has not scored, but picks up another assist there. And now we're going to get a foul on Weatherspoon. As this will be the third quarter media timeout with 4:58 to play in the third. Wildcats up by 6 on the Falcons. And we will step aside on the SP webcast. We'll be right back. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast as we're down to 4:58 to go here in the third. Falcons maintaining contact with the Wildcats here, but the Wildcats have led the vast majority of the game, and they lead by 6 at the moment. Sunny Huerta kicks it back out to Capri Sims, and now back to Huerta. And Rubino still on Huerta. Rubino blocks the shot, but it is Coronado coming up with it. She feeds it back to Huerta, and this time Huerta puts it in. So the Wildcats stick with it there after the block shot by Rubino. And Sunny Huerta now 15 points in the game. 8-point lead for Central Washington as Turley gets it to Bishop. Bishop will kick it out to Kearns for a 3, and that one off the mark. Bishop with the offensive board. Kicks it back out to Kearns again. Kearns drives this time and steps back and is too strong on that shot. We get a whistle, though, and a foul. And they call it on Capri Sims. And that is just the first foul on Sims. First team foul for the Wildcats here in the third quarter. Falcons have committed 3. Here's Buren into the lane, puts it up and leaves it short, and Huerta comes out of there with the rebound. And she drives into traffic, ends up with the ball though, and we'll get it to Coronado. Smith for Kira Marsh. And now Huerta with the shot clock running down. Huerta pulls up over Bishop, puts it in. Huerta was trying to look Bishop off there, looking like she was going to pass it, and then decided to shoot it. And Bishop couldn't reach it. 10-point lead again for the Wildcats. 49-39 here is Buren to Bishop in the post. And Bishop gets the shot up and in over Capri Sims. And Amelia Bishop now with 10 points in the ball game off the bench. Bishop can get buckets down in the lane, in the post. Falcons, though, down by 8 with under 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. This one, a pass to Coronado. She finds Sims, and Sims is blocked but fouled. And foul going on Lane Kearns. Asher Kai checks back in for Central, and Haley Ota for Seattle Pacific. And Capri Sims will get to the free throw line. Kearns committing her second foul there, and she checks out with 2:44 to go here in the third. Sims knocks down the first free throw, and she knocked down went 2 for 2 in the first half, and goes 2 for 2 here in the third quarter. And Capri Sims with 14 points now in the ballgame. 10-point lead again for Central Washington. Ota will get it to Buren. Buren looking for somewhere to go with it. And will try to get it to Bishop, and does eventually. That one was knocked away. Here's Rubino taking a 3, and that one's well off the mark. And that's not really Madison Rubino's game, but she took the 3 there. Was not able to connect. And we get a foul here on Ota with 2:09 to play in the third. And Asher Kai will go to the free throw line. It's the 5th team foul on the Falcons, and so the Wildcats will be at the free throw line for the rest of this quarter. But Kai comes up short on that first free throw attempt. Again, Asher Kai, an 81% free throw shooter coming into the game, gets the second one to go. And it's an 11-point lead for Central. First miss by Kai from the free throw line. She's now 5 out of 6. As Bishop scoops that one off the glass and goes too strong with it. And now Sims getting back down the floor. Couldn't finish the lay-in there. Falcons with the rebound going the other way. Here's Rubino cutting through traffic, and she's fouled. Foul going on Asher Kai. And just her first. Minute 43 to go. Here in the third, Julia Levine will come in for Amelia Bishop. Madison Rubino at the free throw line. Trying to get the Falcons back within single digits. First free throw is up and good. Madison Rubino is a 60% free throw shooter coming into this game. And her second one is off the mark. Fight for the rebound, but Kai ends up with it for the Wildcats. They're up 10. And here's Coronado kicking it to Huerta. And Huerta underneath for Capri Sims. She hooks that one up and in, and it rolls home. And it is now a 12-point lead for Central Washington, matching their largest lead of the game. Buren for Rubino. And now back out to Hunter Buren. Ticking down toward a minute to play here in the third quarter. Turley going to pull up and miss the shot there. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with SPU. With 1 minute and 1 second left here in the third quarter. Capri Sims now 16 points in the ballgame for Central. Buren gets it into Ota. She's going to go ahead and take a 3, and that one goes in for Haley Ota. And believe, that her first 3 points of the ballgame. It's now 54-45. They call it should be a 3, as a foul committed here. They called it a 2. And I believe she was beyond the women's three-point line. She was on the men's three-point line. And so Grace Mertis actually will check in now for the Falcons for the first time today. But I think Haley Ota got short at a point there. She may have had her foot on the line, but didn't look like it from up here. Huerta knocks down the first free throw. And they do give Ota just 2 points on that shot. And Huerta knocks down both free throws and makes it a 12-point lead again. 56-44. Final minute of the third quarter. And now inside 30 seconds. As Buren has it knocked away, and Huerta comes away with it, gets tripped up. Levine ends up with it, and Levine gets the held ball. Malia Smith trying to get it back for the Wildcats there. The ball will go to Central on the alternating possession. And so they'll have it with 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And they can take the final shot of the quarter if they so choose. Huerta looking at the clock. 10 seconds. Coronado with 7 now. Gets it to Sims. Sims to the bucket and draws the foul with 3.1 left. Capri Sims having herself an afternoon. Foul there on Haley Ota. Her second. As this will be Kira Marsh checking back in for Central. 2 shots coming up here from Capri Sims. And she puts in the first. And Central's up by 13. Trying to make it 14 now. Sims just 56% from the line on the season, but gets both here. And it is a 14-point lead now. Ota with a half-court 3, and it got the glass, but did not go in. 14-point lead here for Central going to the fourth quarter as they try to finish off their 11th conference win of the season. We'll have the fourth quarter coming up for you here on the SPU webcast in just a moment. Welcome back inside Royal Burwin Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SP webcast. 10 minutes to play here as Central Washington with a 14-point lead over Seattle Pacific. And the Falcons will have possession to start the fourth quarter. They are going to have to mount a big charge here to come back in this one. But still a quarter to go. And Levine will scoop it up and in off the glass. Nice move there by Julia Levine. And she gets that one to go off the glass. And Levine with her first 2 of the afternoon. I think Karen Byers has some decent freshmen on this roster. Levine, one of them. And if they all stay with Seattle Pacific next year, they probably will all see an uptick in minutes. Grace Mertis, another one, and Grace Turley, who has actually been in the starting lineup. All 3 of them out on the floor right now as they can't get the shot to go there, as Turley and Levine had a crack at it. But some young Falcons that have shown some promise this year. As Kai gets it in the post for Sims again. Sims puts it in. She's got 20 in the ball game. And it's a 14-point lead. Ota as Kearns puts that one in, spinning in the lane. And Lane Kearns now with 8 points in the game. Kearns just a sophomore. And I believe Ota is just a sophomore as well. And this one knocked away from Sims, and I think it was Levine from behind there coming up with the ball for the Falcons. As they're down 12. Mertis thought about taking the 3. Gets it to Levine instead. And now this one eludes Kearns and heads out of bounds. And the Wildcats will take it back. Bishop, Weatherspoon, and Buren all back onto the floor. And the Wildcats making some substitutions as well. As they will now have Coronado, Huerta, Smith, Finch, and Asher Kai on the floor. 12-point lead for the Wildcats as we tick down toward 8 minutes to play. Huerta driving, and she's going to turn around and leave that one short as Bishop came over at the last second, and I think Huerta may have seen Bishop just out of the corner of her eye. There's Buren going down the lane, and she lays it up and in. And Hunter Buren now with 7 points in the ball game. And the Falcons are within 10. Still plenty of time left in this game. But the Wildcats definitely in a good position here as Huerta leaves that one short. And Weatherspoon with the rebound. Here come the Falcons trying to get it back down to single digits. Levine goes into the lane, puts it up over Coronado, and can't get that shot to go. Finch tried to save it in bounds, but she stepped on the line. And so the Falcons will keep it. 20 on the shot clock. And 7:12 on the game clock. Buren going to take a 3. And that one comes up short. Rebound to Asher Kai. Wildcats the other way. Coronado driving on Levine and scoops it up and in off the glass. Good take to the bucket by Annalie Coronado. She's got 8. And the Wildcats now a 12-point lead. Here's Bishop. Kicks it out to Buren. And Buren will get it to Kearns over in the right corner, and that one rims off. Wildcats back the other way. Malia Smith finds Asher Kai for a 3, and Asher Kai drains it. And the Wildcats go up by 15. Asher Kai with 15 points now in this game. And this one may be a little too much for the Falcons to overcome here. We get down towards 6 minutes. Weatherspoon. Bishop ends up with it. Weatherspoon missed the shot, and then Bishop got the rebound. Weatherspoon did not draw iron, but Bishop was there to collect it. And foul goes on Coronado as Sims, Blodgett, and Marsh all check back in for SPU. And Grace Leisure back in, for Central, and Grace Leisure back in for SPU. As Amelia Bishop will go to the free throw line here. Bishop with 10 points in the ballgame, misses the first free throw. Bishop is 72% at the line coming into the ballgame. Gets the second one to go. And that'll make it a 14-point game with just 6 minutes to play. And the Wildcats closing in on their 11th GNAC win. Here's Huerta getting a screen from Sims. Huerta will kick it in the corner, a 3 on the way, and off the mark by Malia Smith. Smith still has not scored in this game. As here is Kearns. And Kearns gets around. Huerta puts it up and in and draws the foul. Kearns got to the the bucket rather, and will get to the free throw line as well. Lane Kearns now 10 points in the ball game. And the foul committed there by Sunny Huerta. Her second foul. Kearns will go to the free throw line, trying to get the Falcons back within 11, and she does. 5:30 to go. This one is not out of the realm of possibility for the Falcons yet. Here's Sims. Kicks it out. And now Huerta in the corner, and that one's off the mark. And Sims ends up with the rebound, gets it to Blodgett. She can't get it to the bucket, but we're going to get a foul on the rebound. And I believe it was Leisure, actually. No. I thought. No, I'm sorry. It was Blodgett that was called for the foul. I thought that SPU had committed a foul there, but it was in fact Central Washington that committed the foul. 5 minutes to play. Falcons down 11. Bishop for Weatherspoon. Weatherspoon will get into the lane, put up the shot, and rattle it home. And Weatherspoon with her first points of the ball game. She averages close to double figures, but today she's had some assists, but just her first 2 points right there. And Sims loses this one out of bounds. Falcons are within 9. Asher Kai's coming back in. Madison Rubino is coming back in for the Falcons, and we are going to step aside. The final media timeout of the game here. 4:35 to play. Central Washington up 9. And we'll be back with the conclusion in just a moment.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back inside Royal Brown Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. 4:35 to play. Wildcats with a 9-point lead, and Randy Richardson was going off on her team in the timeout there. And I'm behind some glass up here. I can't really hear what's going on the court too much, but I could hear a lot of what she was saying there, and it was somewhat colorful, a lot colorful, as the Falcons with possession down 9. And the Wildcats still in a good position here. Weatherspoon takes the 3, and that one is off the mark. And Kai with the rebound. And the Wildcats with the game ticking now down toward 4 minutes to go. And we're going to get a foul. And they got Kai with the screen. And Randy Richardson takes another timeout and throws the clipboard. And Randy Richardson is not happy with her team right now, as this will be a 30-second timeout. And 4:10 to play here. Wildcats, as I mentioned, in good position here, up 9, but Richardson not liking the fact that her team has not been able to put the Falcons away quite yet. As the Falcons will have possession coming out of the timeout here. Down by 9. Wildcats shooting 41% from the floor for the game, and the Falcons 35%. Falcons are just 3 out of 20 from deep. It's actually a lot of threes that the Falcons have attempted. They don't usually shoot a ton of threes. The Wildcats are 18 out of 22 from the free throw line, and the Falcons just 5 out of 7. Wildcats also with the rebounding advantage, 40-36. But Seattle Pacific still with a glimmer of hope in this ball game. And here is Buren getting to the bucket, and that one off the rim, no good. Rebound to Capri Sims. And the Wildcats back the other way, trying to push it back to double digits. Coronado for Kai. And now Malia Smith with Kearns on her. Wildcats will try to run some clock down. Here's Huerta stepping around Rubino, stepping around Buren, and puts it up and in and draws the foul. That gets the Wildcats back out to an 11-point lead, and Huerta will go to the free throw line. She's got 21 points in the ball game. Grace Turley will check back in now for Grace Leisure. I've seen a couple of times now Hunter Buren going over to have a conversation with her coach and thinking she's checking out and then realizing she's not. But Huerta with the three-point play gets the free throw to drop. She's got 22 in the ball game. And the Wildcats a 12-point lead, under 3.5 to play. Here's Rubino for Kearns. Kearns pulls up and shoots over Kai, and that one rims out. And the rebound is going to be Central Washington's, as they're going to call Weatherspoon for a foul. Weatherspoon commits her fourth foul. And the Wildcats with a 12-point lead and 3:15 to go. And the Wildcats in third. They will stay in third either way. Actually, if the Falcons were able to erase this deficit and come up with a win, and Western Washington is able to get a win tonight, then those teams would actually be in a tie for third. But Central Washington a game ahead of Western Washington, and Kai has called for an offensive foul with the push-off there. So the Falcons will take it back. I don't see the Falcons winning this game, but it is not quite over yet. 2:45 to go. Falcons down 12. And we get a whistle underneath. And another foul on Asher Kai. And that is her fourth. She'll check out. As Kira Marsh is back in for Central. Hunter Buren to the free throw line. She's had a quiet day. She's got 4 fouls. So does Weatherspoon. And Buren, though, connects on the free throw. Makes it an 11-point game and gets the second one to go as well. So the Falcons back within 10. Buren. Richardson takes another timeout here for the Wildcats. And this will be a full timeout. So we will step aside here on the SPU webcast. 10-point lead for Central Washington. 2:37 to play. We'll be right back in just a moment. .237 to play here from Royal Brown Pavilion in Seattle. Greg Sexton with you on the SP webcast. Wildcats with the ball. And a 10-point lead as we tick down inside 2:30 to go in the game. And the Wildcats will use some clock here. Huerta out near the center circle. 5 on the shot clock. Huerta will kick it to Sims, and Sims will get the shot up, and that one rolls off. Falcons with the rebound, but the Wildcats used a lot of time there and are leaving the Falcons with just a little over 2 minutes to play now. Buren, long pass for Kearns. Kearns faked the pass to Turley in the corner, but takes it herself. Gets it to Weatherspoon now. Weatherspoon leans back, puts it up and in off the glass. And Weatherspoon with just 4 points this afternoon now, but some big ones there. Gets the getting the Falcons within 8. And still, this one not quite over yet. Minute 35 to go. Huerta to Coronado. And she'll get it to Huerta with a minute 25 now to go in the game. 5 on the shot clock. Huerta will drive. She'll kick it out in the corner, and the 3 on the way is off the mark from Kira Marsh, but the Wildcats able to pull down the offensive rebound. And now we get a foul on Kearns, as she was just wanting to stop the clock there. Asher Kai will come back in for Kira Marsh. A minute 8 left. Wildcats with an 8-point lead and possession. And Smith will inbound it to Huerta. And Huerta just trying to keep it away from Kearns, and Kearns commits another foul here. That is going to be the 4th foul on Lane Kearns. And now we're down to a minute and 1 second left in the game. Shot clock resets to 20. And another foul. This one on Turley, I believe. Marsh is going to check back in. And yes, Turley whistled for the foul there, her 3rd. And the Wildcats now in the bonus, both teams in the bonus. And so Sonny Huerta to the free throw line. Falcons had some fouls to give, but now each foul will send the Wildcats to the free throw line. And Huerta misses another free throw. She'll get another one here. 1 minute even left on the clock. And Sonny Huerta out of Whittier, California, making the second free throw there. And it's a 9-point lead for the Wildcats as we tick down inside the final minute of the game. Rubino gets it to Weatherspoon. Weatherspoon guarded by Coronado, and she's able to get the pass back out. Here is Buren putting up the circus shot. She's able to draw the foul, as she was shooting that one from a pretty tough angle. But she gets to the free throw line. Capri Sims commits the foul. Kai will get back up off the bench for the Wildcats and come in for Marsh. 42.1 left on the clock, and Buren to the free throw line. And Falcons with some work to do here. Buren knocks in the free throw. She's a 78% free throw shooter coming into the game. And misses on the second one. Get a quick whistle here. And I think that Randy Richardson called a timeout from the bench. She did. 41.1 left on the clock. The Wildcats got the rebound there on the miss by Buren at the free throw line. And Wildcats will have it in their backcourt. Unless they choose. I think they are able to advance the ball. But I don't know why they would in this situation. 41.1 left, and Central Washington getting ready to go to 11-4 in conference play. As they lost at Billings on Thursday night, but trying to rebound here in Seattle on Saturday afternoon. And Asher Kai will kill some clock. Grace Turley will foul her. 36.5 left. And Grace Turley is whistled for her 4th foul. And 2 shots coming up here for Asher Kai. Kai this afternoon, 15 points, 5 out of 6 at the line, and gets another one here. I thought Huerta had missed 2 free throws, but maybe it was Kai that missed one earlier. Huerta's 6 out of 7, and Kai now knocks in 2 more free throws and checks out with 17 points as they keep switching offense for defense, I think, here. Or maybe trying to keep Kai from picking up another foul. They put Kira Marsh on the floor when the Falcons have the ball. Kearns knocks down the 3, and that'll make it a 7-point game with under 30 seconds to go, and the Falcons commit another foul. And I think Turley just fouled out of the game. She did. So Grace Turley uses up all 5 of her fouls. Haley Ota will check in for her. And Turley getting the start, playing 26 minutes, and had 6 points and 2 rebounds. Sunny Huerta back to the free throw line, and she puts in the first. 72-64 now, and Huerta's second free throw misses. And the Wildcats able to come up with the offensive rebound, though. And they will, Falcons will foul again. Kearns fouls Malia Smith, and Kearns is done now with 5 fouls. So both Turley and Kearns have fouled out here in the last few seconds. Julia Levine will come in for Lane Kearns. And it's all but done here. Wildcats going to go to 11-4. Malia Smith knocks down the free throw. That is Malia Smith's first point of the ball game, and she misses the second free throw. 9-point lead for the Wildcats. And the Falcons with Beeren getting it to Weatherspoon. Now Ota pulls up from just inside the 3-point line. Can't get the shot to go. Sims the rebound. And Falcons are going to foul again here with 2.3 left on the clock. But, Ota commits the foul there. The Falcons are going to go on the road next week. And then they will have 2 more coming up at home. Central Washington will be back in Ellensburg next week as Malia Smith knocks down another free throw. They will have Western Oregon and St. Martin's. And both the men's and women's teams are going to have their senior day, senior night games as this ends the ball game here. The Wildcats with the win, 75-64 over the Falcons. The Wildcats will close out the season at Northwest Nazarene, so they just have 3 games left to go. 2 at home next week against Western Oregon and St. Martin's. Then they will be at Northwest Nazarene. The Falcons still have 4 to go. They will be at the Alaska Schools next week, and then back home to take on Western Washington and Simon Fraser. Senior Day, March 1st against Simon Fraser. And I will actually be out of town for that one. I'll call the Western Washington game on that Thursday night. This one goes in the win column for Central Washington, and again, they go to 11-4 in conference play. Billings of Northwest Nazarene, and we'll check in on that score here for you. They are still well. Actually, that ball game is over. Montana State Billings beats Northwest Nazarene by 31 points, 93-62. So Northwest Nazarene has gotten blown out twice this week, and they slip now to 8-7 in conference play, still in 5th place, and they're still going to most likely get into the GNAC tournament, and most likely as the 5th seed, not the 6th seed. But yeah, Northwest Nazarene has had a tough week this week. Anchorage with a win earlier today. St. Martin's with a win at Western Oregon. And Northwest Nazarene just dropping one to Montana State Billings. Central Washington wins here. Alaska Fairbanks will take on Western Washington at 7 o'clock. And that'll be the last game of the day in the GNAC. Wildcats will remain in 3rd place in the GNAC with a 75-64 win. Let's go over some of the final stats here. As the Wildcats end up shooting 41% from the floor for the game. Seattle Pacific 35%. 33% from downtown for the Wildcats, just 5 out of 15. But the Falcons only 4 out of 21, 19% for them. Neither team really got a lot going from downtown. The Wildcats get to the line 33 times in this game, and a lot of those were at the end. But they hit 26 free throws, 79% from the stripe. Falcons go 8 out of 11. So the Wildcats got to the line three times as many times as the Falcons did. 33 free throws taken for the Wildcats, 11 for the Falcons. And the Wildcats also out-rebound the Falcons by a count of 46-38. Falcons had 13 assists in this one, and the Wildcats had just 7. But the Wildcats turned the ball over more times than the Falcons did too, 15-10. But some of the other statistical categories definitely in favor of the Wildcats in this one. They get 24 points from Sunny Huerta, who played 40 minutes in this game. I don't know that she ever came out. If she did, it was just very briefly. But Huerta goes 7 out of 16 from the floor, 2 out of 5 from three-point range, 8 of 11 from the free throw line, which is actually under her season average. Capri Sims, 20 points, 10 rebounds. And Asher Kai, 17 points and 14 rebounds. And so those three getting it done, the majority of the scoring load coming from Huerta, Sims, and Kai, as Annalie Coronado chips in 8 points off the bench and collects 4 rebounds and 2 assists as well. Falcons with 4 players in double figures. Kearns with 14 points, 8 rebounds. Madison Rubino had 13 points and 3 rebounds. She had, I believe, 12 at halftime, and so they didn't get a lot out of her in the second half. Amelia Bishop, 11 points, 8 rebounds, and Hunter Beeren at 10 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists for Hunter Beeren. But as I said earlier, it goes in the win column for Central Washington. The Falcons dropped to 1-13 in the GNAC, 7-20 overall. The Wildcats go to 18-6, and they go to 11-4 in GNAC play. The men are done. Their senior day was this afternoon, so we will not have any more men's basketball coming your way on an SPU webcast this year, but the women's team, as I mentioned, will be out on the road for the next 2 and then back home. Our next broadcast will take place Thursday, February 27th. Western Washington will be in the building, and that will be a 7 p.m. tip. And we will talk to you then. Have a good rest of your weekend.